Drake just disappeared from the internet. But not before dropping a message that's left the whole world asking, what truth was he trying to bury? No one saw this coming. In a jaw-dropping twist that's left the entire music industry stunned, Drake, the man who once said, "I wasn't hiding my kid from the world, I was hiding the world from my kid," has reportedly done again. Sources close to the OVO Circle claim that during a late-night studio session in Toronto, Drake made a private confession, and this time, it wasn't about music. According to insiders, the rapper revealed he's been keeping another child's secret, a revelation that has shocked fans, enraged critics, and thrown social media into chaos. Whispers suggest this isn't just another rumor. Allegedly, it's a confession caught on a live studio stream that was quickly deleted, but not before a few fans recorded it. One clip, now circulating across Reddit and TikTok, appears to capture Drake mumbling about a second son and not being ready to tell the world yet. Within hours, hashtags like hashtag Drake Scandal and hashtag Hidden Child 2 exploded, with millions demanding answers. What exactly did Drake say? Who is the mother? And how long has this secret been kept from the public? Tonight, we dive deep into confession that could change everything we thought we knew about Drake's double life. Because if the rumors are true, this isn't just a PR disaster. It's a full-blown Drake legacy crisis. For years, Drake has built his brand on emotional vulnerability and effortless confidence while guarding his private life like a fortress. Fans have always seen him as an enigma, the certified lover boy who can confess heartbreak in one bar and flaunt unimaginable wealth in the next. But beneath that polished image lies a pattern of carefully concealed chaos. Those who follow Drake closely know this latest revelation may be the climax of a story that's been brewing for years. Let's rewind. Back in 2018, the world was blindsided when Pusha T dropped the story of Adidon, exposing Drake's secret son, Adonis. That diss track shattered Drake's reputation for authenticity. Suddenly, his entire persona was under fire. Fans accused him of hypocrisy. Tabloids swarmed. Even close collaborators reportedly felt betrayed that he'd hidden something so major. Drake went silent for months before finally addressing the scandal in his album Scorpion, rapping, "I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid." It was a defining moment. The confession softened public outrage, and over time, Drake rebuilt his image through heartfelt displays of fatherhood, posting photos with Adonis, appearing courtside at games, and speaking about co-parenting with French artist Sophie Brussaux. He seemed like a changed man, a proud father who had learned transparency. Or so everyone thought. Recently, subtle signs began resurfacing, small, seemingly innocent details that fans now see as warning signals. Back in May, eagle-eyed followers noticed Drake liking old posts from Toronto model named Maya Renee, whose sudden disappearance from social media in late 2023 raised eyebrows. At the time, few thought much of it. Maya had modeled for brands affiliated with OVO before. But now, those same fans are connecting the dots. Reports claim Maya and Drake were quietly seeing each other on and off for nearly 2 years. They were allegedly spotted at private events, low-key restaurants in Yorkville, and even once at a Raptors game, though Drake's team reportedly ensured she sat far from the section. According to a former OVO assistant who spoke under anonymity, Drake told close friends he was in a situation but didn't want another media storm. That assistant recalled chillingly, he said he couldn't go through that Pusha T nightmare again. He said this time he'd handle it privately, no matter what. Fans now believe that situation referred to a pregnancy. By late September 2024, whispers began circulating on TikTok fan communities about a mystery woman visiting Drake's Toronto mansion multiple times, often leaving late at night with a security escort. At first, people laugh it off. After all, Drake's name has been linked to countless women, artists, influencers, models. But then came the slip-up. During a private listening event in Los Angeles, an audio engineer allegedly left a live stream running after Drake thought it had ended. The leaked audio, though grainy, contained one unmistakable line in Drake's voice. "It's hard to love both my boys." Those 7 words changed everything. Within hours, the clip went viral. Fans dissected it frame by frame, analyzing Drake's tone, his inflection, even the studio background sounds. Many insisted it was undeniably him. When one account claimed that OVO's legal team had filed copyright takedown notices against the clip, the rumor only grew stronger. Why take it down if it wasn't real? As speculation intensified, Maya Renee's name trended again. Old photos resurfaced of her attending an OVO afterparty, where fans spotted a suspicious detail. She was wearing a diamond bracelet identical to one Drake had gifted other women. Even more incriminating, a friend of Maya's posted a cryptic Instagram story saying, "Loyalty means keeping the biggest secret in the room." It vanished minutes later, but screenshots spread like wildfire. Then came the bombshell. An anonymous Reddit user posted what they claimed was a leaked hospital record showing Maya giving birth in a private Toronto clinic in early August. The document listed the father as Aubrey G. Skeptics called it fake, but Drake's team refused to comment, neither confirming nor denying. And that silence was all the internet needed to spiral. Fans began revisiting every lyric, every post, every public moment, searching for clues. One popular theory pointed to Drake's verse on 8 a.m. in Charlotte, where he raps, "Sometimes the realest ones can't make the family photo." Others cited a Miami concert where Drake paused mid-song, smiled, and said quietly, "Y'all don't even know half of it yet." Was he hinting at the truth? Weeks later, reports claimed Drake had privately admitted he did have another child. But this confession, insiders say, didn't happen in an interview or a public statement. It happened off camera, in a rare, raw moment that was never meant to go public. So how did it leak? And why now? Anonymous sources within OVO describe growing tension behind the scenes. People feeling underpaid, uncredited, and pushed aside. Then, a mysterious account claiming to be part Drake's team uploaded 3 alleged voice notes between Drake and a woman believed to be Maya Renee. The clips were deleted quickly, but not before fans recorded them. In one, a woman's shaky voice said tearfully, "You said you'd be there when he was born. I kept my promise, Aubrey. I stayed quiet." Drake's alleged reply was calm but strained. "You know what I went through last time. The whole world laughed at me. I can't do that again. Not yet." That single exchange detonated across social media. Within hours, hashtag Drake's second baby hit 12 million posts. Then came the receipts. A user named at 6xleaks posted screenshots of a supposed WhatsApp conversation between Drake and Maya, timestamped just weeks before the rumored birth. In the messages, Aubrey G allegedly wrote, "If this gets out, I'm finished. I'll handle it. Just stay quiet till I figure this out." Another message read, "You and the boy are safe. That's all that matters." The screenshots look convincing. Same writing style, same emoji use, even the same iOS background Drake's fans recognized from past screenshots. While some argued it could have been faked, others point out the metadata matched Toronto's time zone. Meanwhile, Maya went completely silent. Her once active Instagram, filled with travel and fashion content, went private. Her Twitter was deleted. And according to a viral TikTok thread, her modeling agency removed her name from their roster within 24 hours. The silence only deepened suspicion. Then came the first twist. Photos allegedly showing Drake leaving a Toronto medical office late at night, masked and flanked by security. Headlines screamed, "Drake seen leaving private clinic after DNA test rumors explode." The internet erupted. "He's getting tested. It's true." But just 2 days later, a TMZ-style outlet called Rapscope leaked a supposed legal document referencing a private paternity matter and mutual confidentiality agreement. The phrase that set the internet ablaze was, "Acknowledgement of paternity is not an admission for public dissemination." That one sentence shattered the internet. For some, it was proof. For others, damage control. Either way, it suggested Drake had signed something. OVO's PR team scrambled. Insiders told Complex and Billboard the materials were unverified and defamatory. Yet Drake himself remained silent. Not a post, not a word. For an artist known for controlling every narrative, that silence spoke louder than anything else. The silence didn't calm the storm. It amplified it. Within 24 hours of the leak, the internet turned into a battlefield. Fans, journalists, and industry insiders dissected every possible angle of the unfolding scandal. Twitter, or X as it's now called, became the epicenter of chaos. Memes, theories, and heated debates flooded timelines at lightning speed. One tweet read, "Drake had one kid and got a Grammy. Let's see what 2 gets him." Another replied, "Pusha T somewhere sipping tea like he just wrote another prophecy." The tone was merciless. Hashtags like hashtag Drake Second Son, hashtag OVO Secrets, and hashtag Aubrey Exposed trended globally. Within hours, fan pages turned investigative, combing through Drake's lyrics, photos, and even interviews for signs they might have missed. On Reddit, the r/Drizzy subreddit, normally a hub for diehard supporters, fractured into chaos. Half defended Drake's right to privacy. The other half demanded transparency. One post titled, "We defended him in 2018. He owes us honesty in 2025." Gathered over 40,000 upvotes in a day. Meanwhile, journalists began reaching out to people close to the situation. Most declined to comment, but a few couldn't resist speaking anonymously. One producer claimed there was tension in the studio. He wasn't himself. Everyone could feel it. Another said Drake had grown paranoid about leaks, and had even started limiting who could access certain files and messages. The tabloids went wild. Every outlet from Page 6 to The Guardian weighed in, speculating about Maya's identity, the child's existence, and whether Drake's empire could survive another secret. But the real damage came from within the fan base itself. For years, Drake had built a relationship with his audience based on openness, or at least the illusion of it. His music gave fans a feeling they knew him, the heartbreaks, the insecurities, the triumphs. But this new revelation felt like betrayal. YouTube channels devoted to hip-hop commentary released think pieces titled The End of the Drake Era and When Transparency Becomes a Lie. TikTokers stitched together old clips of Drake speaking about fatherhood, contrasting them with headlines about the alleged new child. One viral video showed his 2019 interview where he said, "Being a dad changed everything," followed by text overlays reading, "Apparently not enough." Public perception shifted fast. Sponsors reportedly grew nervous. A source from Nike's Jordan brand, one of Drake's longest-running partners, told Rolling Stone, "They're monitoring the situation closely. It's not about morality, it's about optics." Even radio stations began tiptoeing around Drake's songs. A few hosts quietly skipped his tracks on air, worried about listener backlash. Meanwhile, others doubled down, playing Scorpion tracks as ironic commentary. Then came a major development. Late one night, a private voice message surfaced on a gossip blog called Culture Unlocked. The recording, allegedly between Drake and his longtime manager, Oliver El Khatib, featured a voice resembling Oliver saying, "You can't hide this, bro. You'll make it worse." Drake's alleged response was chilling. "They already think they know me. Let them. I'm not explaining myself again." Though the authenticity of the audio couldn't be confirmed, the damage was done. By morning, headlines read, "Drake refuses to address scandal. Sources say he's done explaining himself." Fans were torn between admiration and anger. Some praised his defiance. Others saw his arrogance. But either way, interest only grew. Meanwhile, attention shifted toward Maya Renee. Despite her silence, the media frenzy around her intensified. Paparazzi staked out her rumored apartment in Toronto, snapping photos of anyone remotely resembling her. Multiple accounts claimed she had left the city entirely. Some said she was in Montreal. Others suggested she'd been moved for her own safety. Then, in an unexpected twist, an anonymous post appeared on a private gossip forum with alleged screenshots of Maya's private notes app. The text read, "I didn't want fame. I wanted honesty. But he made me a secret instead." It was short, emotional, and devastating. Though skeptics questioned its authenticity, it spread instantly. Within hours, Drake's Instagram comments were flooded with messages like, "How many secrets till it's not love anymore? You're another kid, bro. This is wild." The emotional tone of the public discourse began to shift. What started as mockery had turned into genuine disappointment. In the midst of it all, Drake broke his silence, but not with an explanation. On October 12th, he posted a single image to Instagram, a black background with white text reading, "They love you till they don't." No caption, no context. Within minutes, the post had over 10 million likes and nearly a million comments, mostly split between heartbreak and outrage. Some fans begged for the truth. Others accused him of playing the victim. The following day, Spotify streams of his older songs spiked by 300%. Marvin's Room re-entered the global charts, while Emotionless and Scorpion experienced massive resurgence. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. Drake's pain was once again fueling his success. But behind the scenes, reports painted a darker picture. Sources close to OVO claimed Drake had withdrawn from public life entirely, canceling interviews, skipping brand meetings, and locking himself inside his Toronto mansion. One insider described it as Drake versus the world. Then came the next leak. A journalist from the Fader claimed to have obtained a confidential email from OVO's internal communications. The message, allegedly sent by a senior PR advisor, read, "We must prepare for the possibility of a verified paternity confirmation. Begin drafting crisis statements and control narratives. No denials, only deferment." When the Fader reached out to OVO for comment, their response was a single line, "No comment at this time." That silence confirmed what everyone feared. Something big was about to drop. And it did. Just days later, a major television network announced an exclusive sit-down interview with Drake, his first public appearance since the scandal broke. The teaser trailer was short but powerful. Drake sitting in a dark studio, expression unreadable, saying softly, "You think you know me, but you don't." The world stopped. Every major news outlet announced live coverage. Fans marked their calendars. Speculation reached a fever pitch. Was he about to confess? Deny? Deflect? Nobody knew what to expect. All anyone knew was that Drake was finally ready to speak. An entire world would be watching. The night of the interview felt electric. Every timeline, every feed, every conversation seemed to orbit around one man, Drake. For days, the promo clip had dominated headlines. It was short, just 10 seconds, but enough to captivate the world. Sitting under dim studio lights, dressed in all black, Drake stared into the camera and said, "You think you know me, but you don't." No one knew what that meant. Was it denial? A confession? A setup for a comeback? Speculation ran wild. Even his critics admitted. If there was one thing Drake knew how to do, it was control the narrative. The interview aired live on Global Spotlight, hosted by veteran journalist Lena Ortega, known for her calm composure and relentless interviewing style. The set was minimal, 2 chairs, 1 table, and nothing else. The atmosphere was tense, almost theatrical. Lena opened with a steady voice. "Aubrey Graham, thank you for being here." Drake nodded, his tone measured but guarded. "Appreciate you having me." From the start, it was clear this wasn't going to be an easy conversation. Lena began with soft questions, his recent projects, his time off, his reflections on fame. But there was an undercurrent, a waiting shadow that everyone felt. And after just 5 minutes, she went there. "Aubrey, the world's been talking. There are reports, very specific reports, that you fathered a second child and kept it private. You haven't confirmed or denied it. So I want to ask you directly, is it true?" Silence. Drake's eyes didn't waver. He took a breath, leaned back slightly, and gave the faintest smile, one that carried exhaustion more than arrogance. "You know, Lena, I've spent my whole career letting the world in on my life, piece by piece. Every heartbreak, every mistake, every win. I've turned all of it into music. But some things aren't for the world." Lena pressed gently. "That sounds like a yes. Are you confirming that you have another child?" Drake paused again. The camera zoomed in, catching the flicker in his eyes, the weight of someone deciding whether to end the speculation or feed it. "What I'll say," he began slowly, "is that being a father is the most important part of my life. It's not a performance. It's not content. It's real. And I've learned that real things don't always survive when you put them in front of millions of people." Lena didn't blink. "So you're not denying it?" Drake exhaled, then looked directly into the camera. "I'm saying some truths aren't meant to trend." The studio fell silent. Social media exploded instantly. Viewers flooded X with posts. He didn't deny it. That's a confession in Drake language. Bro just said everything without saying anything. But Lena wasn't done. She shifted the tone. "Aubrey, in 2018 you said, 'I wasn't hiding my kid from the world. I was hiding the world from my kid.' Are you repeating history?" Drake's jaw tightened. His calm exterior cracked just slightly. "History doesn't repeat," he said softly. "It just rhymes. And sometimes, when the world turns your life into a circus, you learn to protect peace, no matter what it costs." Lena's expression softened, sensing the emotional edge beneath his words. "Are you protecting peace or protecting yourself?" That question lingered like smoke. Drake didn't respond immediately. He looked down, then back up with eyes that seemed to carry years of exhaustion. Maybe both. The audience could feel it. He wasn't dodging. He was bleeding between the lines. Lena then asked a question everyone feared but wanted answered. "Is the child's mother Maya Renee?" For the first time, Drake visibly flinched. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees, and rubbed his palms together. "I'm not here to expose or embarrass anyone. That woman doesn't deserve to have her life turn into gossip. None of them do." Lena nodded, letting the statement breathe. "But you understand that your silence creates speculation, right? That by not confirming or denying, you leave room for chaos." Drake gave a small, tired laugh. "Speculation is what people do best. You tell them the truth. They twist it. You say nothing, they invent it. Either way, you lose." Then came the moment that broke the internet. Lena leaned in slightly and asked quietly, "Aubrey, are you in contact with your child?" Drake closed his eyes briefly. When he opened them, his voice was steady but thick with emotion, every day. It wasn't loud, but it was final. Lena froze. The audience watching from home gasped. Within seconds, the quote began circulating. Drake says he speaks to his child every day. There was no ambiguity left, no denials, no PR spin. It was a confession, wrapped in restraint, delivered in Drake's signature way. Lena continued carefully. Then why not share that with the world? Why let others define the story? Drake looked into the camera again, this time with quiet intensity. Because the last time I let the world define me, it almost broke me. People think I'm made of marble or memes, but I'm a person, and I've learned that sometimes silence protects more than words ever could. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then, softly, Lena asked, "So, what do you want people to understand from all this?" Drake leaned back, staring off as if searching for an answer he didn't want to give. That love doesn't need validation. That mistakes don't erase love. And that sometimes the truth isn't for headlines, it's for home. It was the kind of line that felt scripted, yet entirely real. The interview ended there, with no final statement, no definitive reveal. Drake stood, shook Lena's hand, and walked off without another word. But the silence afterward was louder than anything he'd said. Social media detonated again. Hashtag Drake interview trended worldwide. Millions of fans replayed the clip on loop, dissecting every micro-expression. Some praised his honesty. Others accused him of emotional manipulation. Memes flooded timelines. Screenshots of Drake staring into the camera captioned, "When you confess, but not really." Yet beneath the memes, something shifted. For the first time, even Drake's harshest critics seemed conflicted. His calm vulnerability, his refusal to exploit the situation. It didn't feel like spin. It felt like surrender. The following morning, major networks replayed the interview in full. Analysts debated every phrase. Psychologists weighed in on his body language. PR experts called it the most controlled non-confession in entertainment history. But one thing was clear. Drake had effectively turned the scandal into a statement. He hadn't denied it. He hadn't confirmed it. He had, instead, owned it in his own way. And yet, the story wasn't over. Because less than 48 hours after the interview aired, everything changed again. A new leak dropped. A chilling one. The world barely had time to absorb Drake's emotional interview before a new storm hit. 48 hours later, at 2:17 a.m. Toronto time, an anonymous post appeared on X under the handle @TruthOverOVO. It contained a 37-second audio clip titled, "The Message He Didn't Want You to Hear." Within minutes, it was everywhere. The audio began with a faint hum, studio static, the sound of someone adjusting a microphone, then Drake's unmistakable voice. "You ever feel like the truth's not yours anymore? Like once people find out, they own it? Maybe that's why I stopped telling it." Then silence. The clip cut abruptly, ended with a faint shuffle and what sounded like a phone being set down. It wasn't much, but it was enough to ignite global frenzy. Some swore it was from the same recording session as the rumored confession. Others believed it was part of the upcoming interview that had been edited out. Either way, the tone was hauntingly introspective, almost like a farewell. By dawn, hashtag Drake message and hashtag overleak were trending across all platforms. Major outlets demanded verification. Fans flooded his accounts, pleading for a response. But Drake stayed silent. Then, without warning, his Instagram vanished. Not deactivated, deleted. His Twitter account followed hours later. His website redirected to a blank white page with only a black OVR logo at the center. No music links, no merch, nothing. It was as if Drake had digitally erased himself. At first, fans thought it was a marketing stunt. He'd gone dark before, right before major album drops or collaborations. But this time, there was no teaser, no countdown, no cryptic hashtags. Just silence. Then came the real shock. Paparazzi who routinely camped outside his Toronto mansion reported that Drake's usual security detail was gone. The property gates were closed, lights out. Neighbors claimed they hadn't seen him, or anyone, enter or leave for days. A reporter from the Globe and Mail even filed a piece titled, "Where is Drake?" describing the scene as eerily still, like the house itself was holding its breath. Theories exploded. Some said he'd fled to Turks and Caicos, where he often vacationed privately. Others believed he'd retreated to his Beverly Hills estate. A few conspiracy threads claimed he'd been forced into silence by legal agreements surrounding the child. But the most disturbing theory came from fans analyzing the leaked audio. In slow playback, listeners claimed they could hear a faint background voice, a woman's voice saying, "They'll never let you go." Experts dismissed it as distortion, but that didn't stop the internet from running wild. Was it Maya? Was it someone else? What did it mean? Within a week, Drake had become both everywhere and nowhere, his name dominating headlines, yet the man himself completely invisible. Then, suddenly, another message appeared, this time on Drake's official YouTube channel, which had been inactive since the interview. The upload had no title, no description, just a black thumbnail. When fans clicked play, they were met with 10 seconds of silence, followed by a single line of text fading in. "Don't believe everything they make of me." Then it vanished. No music, no vocals, no credits, just that message. It was Drake's only response since the interview, and it raised more questions than answers. Critics called it evasive. Fans called it poetic. But for many, it felt like the closing line of a man retreating from the public eye for good. A week later, Billboard confirmed that Drake had officially paused all upcoming projects and suspended brand collaborations indefinitely. Sources described it as a personal leave. His management team offered no further comment. The hip-hop world fell silent. Even rival artists, many of whom had built careers off taking shots at Drake, chose not to speak. It was as though everyone collectively understood that something deeper was happening, something beyond music or fame. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the internet, rumors about Maya continued. A blurry photo surfaced of a woman resembling her walking through a Toronto park, pushing a stroller. The image spread like wildfire, but no one could confirm its authenticity. She didn't look at the camera. Her head was down, her face half hidden by a hood. The caption under the viral repost read, "If this is her, she's not hiding. She's just living." And that, perhaps, was the quietest, most human ending to the loudest story of the year. By the end of the month, the frenzy began to fade. News cycles shifted. The hashtags cooled. But the mystery lingered. Fans replayed the interview, the leaks, the silence, searching for meaning in the spaces between his words. Then, 3 weeks later, on a cold November morning, a new update appeared on Drake's YouTube channel. It wasn't an announcement. It wasn't even a video. It was a live stream, black screen, no sound, just a title. 6 a.m. tomorrow. Speculation reignited instantly. Was he coming back? Was it new music? A statement? A final goodbye? Nobody knew. When the clock finally hit 6 a.m. the next day, hundreds of thousands tuned in live. The screen stayed black for a full minute. Then a faint sound emerged, a heartbeat. Slow, steady, echoing through the speakers. After a few seconds, Drake's voice cut through the darkness, calm and hauntingly familiar. You can try to bury the truth, but it always finds its way back. Then silence. The screen faded to the OVO owl. The stream ended. And just like that, Drake was gone again. No posts, no appearances, no explanations. Just one lingering question echoing through every feed, every fan forum, every whisper across the internet. What truth was he really talking about?